So we want to take a look at how to make sure that we've got the latest version of Google's Nano Banana inside of ComfyUI. We're working here with ComfyUI Desktop. We go to the templates. These are the newest templates that are available. We've got Seedream 5, we've got Capybara, we've got 11 Labs, Quen, but we haven't got the latest Google Nano Banana. Now you can do a search in your one to see if you have got the latest one. And you can see here, we've got Nano Banana Pro, but not the latest one, which is the fast version, or the what I think Google uses the term flash version of its models. Now, as far as checking for an update is concerned, quite often what you'll see is when an update is available, as soon as you log into ComfyUI, a message will come up, update available, install the next launch, install now and restart. There is a way of checking for updates, which means going into the menu, I think, and then we can go for a check for updates. An update is available. That also seems to work. So what we'll do is that we will update it. I'm just going to stop this progress here because we are doing some screen capture. And I will just... Okay, so we're going to go in. We'll go to Help. Check for updates. An update is available. Do you want to restart an update now? We've got it paused, so we might as well update immediately. So we're going to restart this. Now the update will take a little bit longer because it is going to actually install new requirements. And once it starts again, we should have the Nano Banana, or they call it Gemini 3.1. That's the other term that they're using for it. I tend to prefer the 3.1 terminology, but it is now generally available. You can see it's available also here in Adobe Firefly. So we'll start it up and we'll see if the template is now available and maybe give it a bit of a try. Now the update has occurred and it is now installing the new dependencies. As we discussed in a previous video, if you have any problems with startup, a good idea is to update the drivers for NVIDIA or whatever other drivers you're using. But typically I find with NVIDIA drivers, once you update those, a lot of the problems do tend to disappear. Okay, it's now restarted, so we can go to the templates again and just check. And you'll see, as long as you're sorting by newest, you'll find Nano Banana 2 is now available. We've also got Kling Avatar and Stability AI Image Upscale Fast. Let's open it up, and since it's a partner node, we should be able to start using it straight away. So you can upload images to use as a feed into the prompt, and here this is an edit prompt, and we can choose from Nano Banana 2, which is also called Gemini 3.1 Flash Image. Nano Banana 2 is, I understand, the actual formal term, and we've got seed control, which I think is good. And so what I'll do is usually increment the seed. Aspect ratio is auto, which is cool. I haven't seen that before. Minimum resolution size can go up to 4K. So it's just 14.7 credits for a 2K image. For a 4K image, it goes up to 26 credits. Not bad. Should we try it first with the 2K and thinking level, whoa, minimal to high? What happens when we go to high? It remains the same in terms of the credits. So let's try a prompt that will test the new features of this new model. Now, all of the 3.1 models that I've tested so far, they've been fantastic. So one of the claims to fame for Google Nano Banana 2 is the kind of photorealism and also the ability to depict images that are right up to date. So this was a prompt where I asked it to show an image of Tower Bridge in spring 2029 from the newly refurbished Tower Hotel by Thistle with its modern glass-fronted tower suite, floor-to-ceiling glass. And you can see the results here that we've got. It's amazing. It's amazing quality. This is an incredibly large image. It's almost too large. Now the image is the 2K image. There's an even larger size, which is the 4K image. I don't think we have any need for that. This is just large enough. This is one of the largest images. All of these images are coming through in the local ComfyUI folder. And These are the largest images in my folder. So that's an amazing one. Another thing it's supposed to be able to do is to handle very complex prompts. So we'll try that. So the next prompt that I've given it is a very, very long one, which describes a young man walking past a group of gentlemen in a 20th century European street. On top of that, it's supposed to have a very relaxed tone, very relaxed feeling, and it's supposed to have the texture of a painting. And it's managed to do that perfectly. It's absolutely got the right feel. Most AIs will have this guy here a little bit taller than the guys who are talking. I don't know why they all do that, but they all do that. I think it's a kind of a trick of perspective where they sometimes get the perspective a little bit wrong. But overall, it's amazing in its ability to follow the details of the prompt. So the prompt itself is a very complex one. And what I'm going to do is to change it with another prompt, which is going to be a bit more sultry, a little bit more sexy. And one of the things just looking at this is that the texture of the image, you can see here, almost like an oil, it's a very organic feel to the image. It does not look like an AI generated image, which is really nice, especially when it's an AI generated image. Now, one thing I should mention is that to get this to work properly, I had to come to the first node in the template and then to bypass it. So to bypass it, you've got the remove bypass and then you bypass. So I had to bypass this, otherwise it was producing an error. So we've got another painting coming through, and this one here is of a kind of somewhat sensual nature, a woman walking through in kind of like soaked with her dress. And it hasn't censored this to death, which is really nice. And that's a really good sign. One of the big problems I have with some of the other platforms is just the amount of censorship that they've got. But inside of ComfyUI, you've got images that are of exceptional quality coming from Nano Banana. And the censorship does seem to be moderated. So it's pretty cool, not moderated in a bad way. This is a pretty nice image. It's supposed to be a painting, and it's supposed to have that kind of sultry feeling and the rain. Very sensual. And what I'm going to do is something a little bit complicated. I'm going to combine this prompt with the previous prompt to see what it does. Now, taking a closer look at this image here, you can see that it's got the paint strokes inside of the image. You can see the little dashes of paint, but it hasn't rendered the objects inside the image as though they're being treated in a different way. Some models will treat the images, the objects inside the image as though they're painted themselves, as though someone has actually splashed a bit of painting on to the objects themselves. This one doesn't do that, and it's managed to combine these two prompts so that we've got a little bit of the feeling of the second prompt here and the other prompt here. I think this is actually the first prompt in the stack. It's combined them. We've got the people discussing things under a lamppost. You can imagine this happening in some really kind of like laid back European city in the 20th century. You've got the gentleman walking past. We've got the lady there looking pretty cool. And it's even put a signature in the bottom right hand corner. This is another one. I don't know if the signature should have been there in the first place, but it's decided I'm going to put the signature of the artist. So this is the style of the painting. It's a Fabian Perez style, but it's decided to put that as a signature, which is, I guess, a little bit inconvenient. But you can see that it's managing to take these two very different prompts and is managing to combine them in a very interesting way. Now we've got something that looks like a Jack Vetriano painting. It looks really, really nice. I've got to say, I'm very, very impressed with this. This is not just fast, but the quality of it and the prompt adherence is just amazing. This is one of the best models, and this is the Nano Banana one. This is the Flash version. This is not even the most powerful variant of the Google models. Now, I liked what it was doing with these images to such an extent that I asked it to do a couple more of these images. And what you're seeing are images that are much more higher quality than what you get on the Gemini website. If you go to Google Gemini and look at the quality of the images, it is not anywhere near as good as the stuff you get inside of ComfyUI. And I think inside of ComfyUI, probably we get a little bit less censorship as well. I think the platform itself tends to be a lot more censored than ComfyUI, which is one of the reasons why ComfyUI is such a huge deal. So this next prompt is supposed to generate an image where we're seeing a lot of detail, very specific detail. It's supposed to be a summertime image. We're supposed to have a little bit of light, dappled light coming through the tree leaves. And we're also supposed to see some birds in the front. The woman is supposed to be holding a white parasol umbrella. And she's supposed to be exchanging flowers with another flower seller, with a woman selling flowers. There is supposed to be the feather, the ostrich feather in the hat. It's there, and the Arc de Triomphe in the background. The style is academic realism. It's an oil painting. This is just amazingly realistic. This is really good quality. Let's see if we can turn this same image and turn it into a more photographic image. So I'm going to change the prompt so it's not depicting academic realism. We're going to go for a photographic image, and we're going to retain the same seed. Okay, now by keeping the seed exactly the same as before, we've managed to get a photographic feeling by changing the prompt so that it's explaining that this is now a photograph, sun-drenched Parisian lane, boulevard, and we've got the same elements. We've got the woman cutting the flowers. We've got the beautiful woman next to her with the white parasol. And it's looking very photographic, very photorealistic, just as though someone with a very high quality, expensive camera had gone back in time and done that sort of, what do they call it? Somewhere in Time, that movie with Mr. Reeves. And you can see just how beautiful it is. I mean, it does look photographic in its quality. And it's a little bit similar to the image that we had before because we kept exactly the same seed. So something's changed around a little bit. I think the trees just changed from where they were. But otherwise, the general composition has remained largely the same. So it's pretty powerful at being able to handle different styles. And if you keep the seed exactly the same, you can get a degree of control even when you're making pretty dramatic changes to the style and to the prompt. Now, I specifically asked it to make the focus of the image the two women. So you can see everything else in the background has sort of fallen away. You can't really pay too much attention to it because the women are so vibrant and so bright. Now we changed it so that it's more sunset, kept the same seed, and just changed one single word, which was instead of sun-drenched, I changed it to sunset. You can see the composition remains, broadly speaking, the same. We've got this women in a similar position, but it's altered the location of different objects in order to create a more sunset feel to the sky. So changing the lighting has a major impact on the composition, but you can see the main aspects of the image remain the same. The women are in exactly the same position. Broadly speaking, the Arc de Triomphe is where it was before, and still the focus is on the two women, which is exactly what I wanted. In terms of the color and in terms of the presence of the women, they're much more sharp and in focus, and the color is much more vibrant. That was specifically indicated in the prompt, and it managed to really to maintain that. And everything else is there. We've got the ostrich feathers, we've got the umbrella, and the woman is still cutting the flowers in a very professional way. So it's kind of amazing. And we'll move on to probably the most challenging thing for most models, which is to produce realistic looking food. So this is a beautiful piece of, ooh, don't you just want to eat that? You've got the cheese, you've got the olives. I'm ready for this. I'm totally ready for this. It looks realistic. You've got the kind of photographic grain. I don't know if you can, if I zoom in to a dark area, you've got the kind of photographic grain that you just don't get with other models. You just don't see this by default with other models, but you're seeing it by default inside of Nano Banana 2. And it's the last time I saw this kind of photographic detail as default was inside of the Stable Diffusion 3. Which had its own problems, but here we've got a very nice looking depiction of food. But we've got the figs, we've got the walnuts, you've got the salami, you've got the ham there. Look at the oh my god, look at the Look at the strawberries. So this is looking good. This is really, the only negative thing is the hand just creeping in there from, I don't know where that came from. In the processing, it ended up producing a bit of hallucination. So this is basically one of the best models I've seen, even though it is the Flash version. And this is something I've found also with the other Flash variants of the Google 3.1 series. They're very good at what they do. The final look at the prompt, the node itself provides quite a lot of control. So we've got aspect ratio, auto. I suppose we could have been a bit more specific about the aspect ratio. Maybe that would have given us more control. We've got the ability to control the seed. We've got the ability to control the resolution. We can go for 1K, 2K, or 4K. And obviously that will determine the speed. And we've got the image we've got the response modalities, and it's very specific in saying that it wants you to create an image. It wants this entire process to result in an image. This is a system-wide prompt. You don't change this. That's always there. You got to produce an image. That's what it's saying, nothing else. And you've got the thinking level, high or low, and I suppose that affects the amount of time that it takes to process. I've gone for high. I do like high quality. I suppose one thing we could do is text and just see how well the text comes out. So we've got a beautiful scene here with the letters showing in 3D, and the spelling is perfect. It's never come across that word before, but there you are. It spelled it perfectly. We'll run another one where maybe we'll try Nano Banana as the keyword. And it spelled Nano Banana too perfectly. That's amazing. It's also managed to get the text lined up exactly in kind of a centered way, so that its composition remains solid. And we're seeing the kind of beautiful marble. We're seeing the beautiful text reflections, and everything looks perfect. I can't fault the design. It's absolutely keeping with the prompt. And the prompt is for an alpine valley, and I've asked it now to produce some crocuses and daffodils in the foreground, and that looks amazing. That looks really amazing. So with text, it's capable of doing text perfectly, and this is something which is legendary, particularly for a fast model like the one that we're looking at here.